Good, happy Tuesday morning, January 8th, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We begin with the storm watch. Unsettled weather could make for a tough morning commute. Let's go to meteorologist Mike Haddad with a quick check of your weather forecast.
Thank you very much for joining us. Stormwatch 9 weather on the web. Fairly active weather pattern with two systems to track into Wednesday night. The first one will produce some light snow tapering off to a light mix south beginning very late tonight and lasting into part of Tuesday. The second one develops later Tuesday evening and especially overnight into Wednesday. Rain to start and then an end as some snow. All about the Arctic chill though by the end of the week and the start of the upcoming weekend. So here we go with system number one. System two will actually develop along a front that sits over us tomorrow afternoon and evening. So it's tough to depict right now on a satellite picture, but you'll see it on Futurecast with the band of light snow that moves in overnight tonight in through the Tuesday morning commute, just enough to make the roadways a little bit slick. So plan on a bit of extra time if you're traveling through about mid-morning on Tuesday. That light snow will taper off to a light mix of rain or mixed showers south, couple of snow showers or flurries in northern parts of the state. Then later tomorrow night, wave number 2 develops. This one produces rain initially because it'll be warming up, so temperatures will be above freezing in many spots. But then it changes over to wet snow during Wednesday morning. That means Wednesday morning commute could be a little bit slick, especially the farther north and west that you do go. And look at this. Pesky snow and snow showers on and off Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and even early Thursday in northern New Hampshire. So wave number 1 with this weak system late tonight through about midday on Tuesday produces a dusting to 2 inches of snow anywhere Concord south and east. Far to the west and to the north, 2 or 3 inches of snow with some of the highest elevations getting between 3 and 4 inches of snow. Now, jumping ahead to very late Tuesday night and especially Wednesday and Wednesday afternoon, rain changes to snow before ending, so only a dusting to an inch expected south and east of the Lakes region. 1 to 3 inches of snow after rain initially in the Lakes region in the Upper Valley. 3 to 6 plus. That plus in the higher elevations of northern New Hampshire from midday Wednesday to early on Thursday. Windy and chilly for later Wednesday, but those winds really crank up more so for Thursday with snow showers persisting up north. It's a breezy and very cold Friday, and on Saturday the winds begin to go a little bit lighter. Sunday, partly sunny and partly sunny on Monday. Having said that, with the dry air over the weekend, there will be another coastal storm getting close to us by Sunday and Sunday night. We'll have much more of that potential as we get closer to it, but at least right now, it looks to stay dry.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we have 11 closings and delays to pass along for you this morning. If you want to see that complete list, just go to WMUR.com and click on closings. And now let's take a look at your traffic right now and see how your roadways looks like for the morning commute. And here's a look at your traffic this morning for your morning commute. We're seeing a lot of green roadways and we have a few yellow spots near the Manchester area and making its way up through the Concord and Boscawen area, and then a few little green and yellow spots over here, and then a few green and yellow spots over there, and a little tiny red and yellow spot down over there. Otherwise, your traffic is moving pretty good and a little okay for this morning commute, but again, the snow will cause travel to be slower than usual. So take it on easy on the roadways this morning, everyone. Now let's get to your news. Granite's government shutdown prevents some sales for New Hampshire breweries. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's take a listen to the video of this report.
Entering its third week in Washington, D.C., the government shutdown is starting to brew some trouble for beer makers across the country.
Especially with the new stuff that we want to do. Can't get it approved, can't go out.
White Birch Brewing in Nashua is known for its sour beers, and it works with distributors in 16 states. But right now, it can't ship any new product to customers outside of New Hampshire.
February is when that really starts to ramp up. So we kind of got to start getting going here.
The Federal Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, or TTB, approves labels and licenses for any new beer, wine, or spirit. That agency is closed. White Birch can still sell within the Granite State, but nowhere else.
And there's forms you fill out. There's certain people you have to talk to. Those forms actually aren't even available. I just try to check on the website.
Taproom manager Steve Vicentin says the approval process can take up to 2 weeks. He's wondering when they'll be able to move forward with several projects they plan to do.
New England alone is a huge market for us. So for people to not be able to get their sour beers in the spring and the summer would be, that'd be tough.
About 6 of White Birch's beers will be impacted, but that could grow as the shutdown drags on.
Every season we're going to have something something new that's going to come out. So I'm hoping it's not backed up too much because it's a lot of waiting that we're going to have to do.
The TTB's website says once the government shutdown is over and funding is restored, it will try to restore service as quick as possible. In Nashua, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Merrimack police warned community after 3 overdose in as many days. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
It's highly unusual for us to have 3 overdoses in 3 days.
An unusual and concerning trend this past weekend for Merrimack Police.
It started on Friday, early Friday morning. We had a call for an overdose at a residence in town, and it just kind of progressed from there. We ended up having another call for an overdose later Friday night, and then yesterday, Sunday, we had an additional call for an overdose.
The people involved range in age from 19 years old to 41. Police believe the overdose reversal drug Narcan was used on all 3 of them. Now, Merrimack Police want people who use drugs or may know someone who does to take care.
We wanted to reach out to the public and make them aware, because even if we can save one person, it's worth any efforts on our part to get the message out there. Friends, family, just try and reach out to those that they know that have these issues and have these problems, and just let them know.
Police expect toxicology reports to take anywhere from several days to several weeks to find out what's truly behind the overdoses.
We're not aware of whether or not these individuals are connected, but there's obviously a concern that they could be using the same drug. And if that's the case, obviously it's something that we want to caution these people against doing.
Police say they are following up on leads as of right now, but they're asking anyone who may have information about these drugs to give the department a call. In Merrimack, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former Claremont police chief sentenced to jail time for evidence-related charges. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tom Griffith.
A former Claremont police officer will spend 3 months in jail for illegally searching a convicted felon's bedroom. 31-year-old Ian Kibbe pleaded guilty last month to obstructing government administration and unsworn falsification. Kibbe was sentenced today and agreed to not seek a law enforcement job in New Hampshire. Prosecutors say Kibbe lied about how he found 2 weapons inside the apartment when making an arrest.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police search for man who robbed convenience store at knife point. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Manchester police are looking for the man who robbed a store tonight. Police say it happened around 7 o'clock over at the U.S. Mart on Hall Street. The suspect showed the clerk a knife and demanded cash. He's being described by police as a black male in his early 20s, about 5'5", 150 pounds. Anyone with information should call Manchester police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two-alarm fire burns abandoned mill building in Somersworth. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
Now headed out to that breaking news out of Somersworth at this hour. Firefighters have been on the scene of this 2-alarm fire at an old mill building for more than 2 hours. WMUR Charisse LeClaire is near the scene. And Charisse, what are we learning right now?
Well, Tom, right now firefighters are actually standing on Main Street, trying to keep an eye on the homes that are in the 200 block of this area. This mill is at about 225 Main Street, so they are watching as embers are sort of flying through the air. The smoke is going really high and sending those embers, just like this one, they're sort of raining down onto Main Street and around the homes right there. So right now they're keeping a very close eye on those homes to make sure none of these embers ignite. As you can see behind me, smoke is billowing high into the air here above Somersworth. This has been the scene for over 2 hours now. The flames have just kept up their intensity, and the smoke, as you can see, just flying high into the sky there, and a couple things are sort of raining down around us here with the embers and such. But firefighters are not reporting any injuries at this time, but as you can see, a huge undertaking here off of Main Street. We're right now on River Road as we await further information from fire officials who are battling this. Right now we know there are at least 5 agencies who are helping out Somersworth firefighters in tending to this fire. The wind sort of shifted, residents say, about an hour ago, sort of sending the smoke and the embers toward homes. So that is a concern right now, although the mill is abandoned. And actually residents were saying they've been seeing some work going on around the mills recently, so they're shocked to look out their windows tonight and see these huge flames. We spoke to the man who called first responders and first reported this.
We went back to the back window there, looked outside, and it was just engulfed. We came running out. I had called it in. They were rushing people out. Everybody was just kind of flocking in to see the spectacle that is, unfortunately, the mills. I know I grew up seeing them, you know, just kind of driving by and seeing them growing up. It's kind of been a landmark, especially with GE here. So it's a little weird seeing it go down in smoke.
Yeah, this landmark certainly engulfed in flames at this hour, as it has been burning, as we mentioned, for over 2 hours now. Those residents that we had talked to that reported this fire say they've been sort of told by fire officials to be vigilant. Firefighters are watching the homes along Main Street, but they say it'll probably be another 3 hours or so before they can kind of let their guard down. But multiple agencies here assisting. We have been told that there are some firefighters down here sort of at a command post that will hopefully be able to share some more information with us about maybe what exactly sparked this fire tonight. But a lot of questions still remain around this one, and we'll bring you those latest developments as soon as they come in. Live in Somersworth, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. China's current GDP growth is likely less than 6%, economists say. China's economic growth is likely currently below the 6% level, aimed flattering domestic demand, says Tamara Berg, chief economics at DBS Group Research. Despite negotiations between China and the U.S. underway in Beijing, Binge says it's unlikely the trade war will end in the next 3 to 6 months. White House orders IRS to pay income tax refunds despite government shutdown. The IRS announced Monday evening that despite the government shutdown, it will process tax returns starting January 28th and issue tax refunds as planned, a move ordered by the White House earlier in the day. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your morning, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.